Welcome back from the break. You're still watching This Week, and I'm Somna Sambo. We now move on to Edo State in south of the country. The race for the 2024 Edo governorship election has begun in earnest, with political party primaries slated for February. That's next month. Aspirants from various political parties have stepped up their consultations to grab their party's tickets, with forms and expression of interest being sold for as much as 50 million naira. Many political watchers believe the race for the state's seat of power will be a three-horse race among the major political parties. That's the ruling People's Democratic Party, the opposition All Progressives Congress, and the Labour Party. However, a major calculation or sentiment that political parties may not be able to overlook is the senatorial district they pick their governorship candidates from, especially in the face of agitations by Edo Central Senatorial District that it is its turn to produce the man who succeeds Governor Godwin Obaseki. The argument rages that while the two other zones have occupied the seat once or twice in the past, Edo Central is at the shorter end of a power rotation arrangement within the state. Well, joining me in the studio here is one of the governorship aspirants on the platform of the All Progressives Congress, Kassim Afegbua. He's also a former commissioner for information in Edo State. Thank you so much, Kassim, for joining us.
It's a pleasure.
And everybody is surprised that you're joining this race under the APC. And they say, what are your chances in an APC that you have Professor Sarime Osumbo and a few others? Someone who held that seat for a short period of time before he was booted out. And then the sentiments for Edo Central. It looks like coming from Edo North, you're just wandering within the APC, and your chances may be questionable. What do you say to such critics?
Somna, you see, I think I have a brighter chance than any other aspirant from any senatorial district on the basis of my own antecedents. Those who I've worked for in the time past and present, are captured within this senatorial district. I've worked in the state before. I've worked for Adams Oshomole. I've worked for Ize Yamu during his own campaign in 2020. I was in PDP. I stick out my neck to him, and I deliver my community forwards to him and all that. And when I take on my political battles, I don't look at the ethnic configuration or where you come from within the state. I agree that every senatorial district in Edo has capable hands that can emerge as candidates to represent their party. But in the final analysis, one person will win the election. And just like I spoke somewhere else yesterday, there has not been anything like zoning in Edo governorship. I don't know why people keep digging into this same old issue.
Isn't it a political agreement between the major actors in the state?
No.
That there should be a rotation of power.
Samna, look at the political trajectory of Edo. We had in the Second Republic, we had Professor Ambrosali when it was still Bender State from Edo Central, then Bender Central. Follow in 3 months, they had Ogbemudia from Edo South. Then there was an interregnum. In 1992, there was an Oyegun from Edo South. In 1999, there was Lucky Gbunejo from Edo South. You get the point? Now, in 2007, there was an Osumbo for 17 months. From 2007, Adams Oshomole came on stream from Edo North, choosing a party that was literally unknown, AC, Action Congress. And he wrestled power with the all-powerful PDP. And he got, returned as governor by tribunal on October 11, 2008. And so, Adams Oshomole's emergence was not important of zoning. Nobody zoned to Edo North because it was like...
So they fought and grabbed it.
Of course, he fought for it. And because of his popularity at the center, having been president of the NLC, he came on board. Even Ganifami had to joke with him, like, you should have contested for president of the country, not even governor of a state. So he took over. And when he was leaving, he handed over to another Edo South. You get the point? Now, we have Basaki, we have a deputy from the north. This time, the PDP in its own constitution, they have zoning provision. Article 7, subsection C. They can apply it at the state level because it was one of the provision I quarreled with when I was in PDP, that you cannot have, candidates from the north in quick succession from 2019, another 2020 and all that. So, but back to Edo, APC has no zoning in its own constitution.
Yeah, that's why people are asking, what are your chances in the face of an Izeyamu, and then you have Sareme Osumbo, and then some other people too.
No, you see, let me tell you.
And then Philip Shuaibu on the other hand, and then Aso Ighodalo, who
I'm not going
on the other party, and then Labour Party too, which is really giving both of you the run for your money.
I'm not going to bother myself with what happens in PDP for now. When they give me the ticket, I've told them, Emiloko, they should give me this ticket, and let me go and bring home the trophy. I will trounce any of the candidates of PDP and APC and Labour Party. If APC can give me the ticket for that part. One, I have a rich understanding of what obtains in the state. I can speak to the issues. People know me. I have a name recognition. They know that I'm like this. I'm not like this. I will tell you what I believe in at every point.
You think so? Won't they use it against you that you've been moving from one party to the other?
There's nobody who has not moved from party to another, so that's not an issue. It shouldn't be an issue. I'm looking for political ideal, a platform that can give me that opportunity for me to contest election, so that whatever I have, instead of criticizing all the time, let me also be criticized this time around. Give me an executive position where I can translate my ideas into practice for the good of Edo people. I have gone around the state. I've seen the level of decadence. I've seen the level of rot. I've seen the low level of governance. And I'm thinking that, no, that shouldn't be, because now we're getting more money. States are getting more money. Attention is not being geared towards what the state government are doing. I think the media needs to do more. Everything is about federal government, but they just share 1 trillion and 88 billion in December, and states are getting about 25, 26, 27 billion. Yet they will tell you they don't have money to do 1 kilometer of road and all that. What they do is just to patch up streets and say that is they are working.
So what difference would you be making? What are the governance deficits that you have seen, and what are your plans to tackle those governance deficits?
You see, I see Edo, sitting on a position of multiple benefits and potentials, because it's a transit state. If you are going to the south, you pass through Edo. Southwest, you pass through Edo. Southeast, you pass through Edo. That gives us a huge advantage that is not being exploited. What is wrong if you build a dry port in Benin Bypass, where there's huge land, rotting away without being used, not being utilized, undeveloped areas? What is wrong if you build a dry port with big warehouses? There's so much manufacturing going on in the southeast. They bring their things there, do packaging and all of that. Edo will take its own ground rent and what have you. Then they move that to Lagos, where they will be shipped outside or to some other places. And so that's just one of it. We have a lot of trailers and factories in Edo. Build trailer parks. What's it called? Benin Bypass. Instead of vehicles, trailers parking on the road, now build trailer parks where you can even capture the informal sector to the formal sector, and expand your tax net so that you can earn more revenue. Ideally, you can build trailer parks also. Okpola, where I come from, has 2 cement giants, Dangote and Boa Cement. They are in Okpola. No trailer park. When you go there, it's all chaotic. So you can do all of this, and there will be money spinners. Aside from that, you can do fertilizer production. There's one before that has been granted. They never care about it. We have all the raw materials and what have you. During Adams Oshomole's government, he encouraged the Chinese government to set up ceramic plants. As we speak today, they operate on the Ologbo gas pipeline, uninterrupted power supply, to run their factory right there in Benin. There's another steel production that took off at that period, because once you're able to create road infrastructure and you're able to, the people can move from one place to the other, then the tendency for companies to also grow or to come up will be there. There are people who want to. Yes, go ahead.
We've also seen Edo engaging in PPP, in building power plants, and then of course refineries and all of that. Why does it look like they haven't come on stream so much?
I'm happy you're asking this question. Those factories companies we are talking about are not owned by Edo. They are privately owned businesses, which the government is using to show up its own lack of failure of governance. That's the truth. The modular refinery in Ologbo, the electricity generation and all of this, they are just using people to front for them. It's quite unfortunate, but that's the reality on ground. Those who genuinely wanted to invest in Edo, to use poultry waste, to use palm produce waste and all of that in Ovia Northeast and Northwest and Southwest, they are not being encouraged. I have quite about 3-4 proposals already from people I'm discussing with that. What can we do to expand the governance scope, in Edo State? And they've given me some lovely proposals, producing about methanol, and ethanol, using cassava waste, using cassava products and all of that in Edo Central and all that. But the key factor, which I will not bargain with, is the fact that there has to be solid road architecture. The present state of roads in Edo are in a sorry state. They are quite... Despite
all that Governor Obaseki is saying, and then we hear him saying that he has reformed the workforce. But although we hear that a lot of people, the chunk of money is being got by the Edo State government actually goes into payment of salaries and all of that.
What is the workforce of Edo? Tell them, they like hiding figures. Tell them to tell us what is the workforce. One government, what I would do when I become a governor.
Well, you worked in government, so you should be able to tell us. You were former commissioner.
Yes, I left in 2016. It's a huge, it's a huge cry. I remember that they were talking about education, and they say Edo best. And they will show you beautiful pictures of children carrying tablets, laptops, and what have you, as a way to digitalize education, learning, and all that. But you go to the schools, you don't have teachers. The schools in my community, the one that can boast highest as, oh yes, we have teachers, has 4 teachers, from GSS 1 to SS3. It's ridiculous. That's unacceptable in a contemporary new world. And that is the same mentality that drives government in Edo to demolish the state library and build a shop right there. It's all about profit and loss for them. They are not talking about knowledge acquisition. How can you demolish a state library and in its place you put ShopRite? It doesn't make sense.
Well, isn't it an investment? Wouldn't people be working in the ShopRite?
No, but you have forgotten. Okay, yet the state government is talking
joining the League of States with ShopRite. Since the governments are now using ShopRite as a measure of development.
Okay, now you just said something. Now the state government is talking about reforms. How do you reform when you don't do research? How do you build human capital development when you don't have a basis for you to gather data? You can't quantify the economic benefits and even the potential of a library. In this contemporary world, you can either modify it to become an e-library, or you can also expand the scope. But there are other lands where you can build ShopRite. You don't need to come into a place that's already so busy, and you say you want to build library and you want to build ShopRite there. So what they will have done was to improve on the state library and get another location where they can site their ShopRite. Okay. But it's all about business.
Kassim,
so for me, I am coming with a different approach to governance. I will run an open government. Edo people will know how much is coming to the state coffers. The jobs that have been bidded for, you hardly know. They are done in secrecy.
Now,
for God's sake,
Kassim Afegbua, you've rolled out all these beautiful ideas. I want to ask you this: do you have a godfather who's sponsoring you? Are you a godson?
The last time I came here, I told you to help me look for one. So far, I haven't gotten one. I'm going around the states. I've gone around 6 local governments. By Monday, I'll continue my visitation.
Are you willing to abide by any agreement that will be signed so that we don't have a wicked Fubara situation?
Talking seriously, I think the issue of Godfather is even biblical. The Almighty God said, "This is my beloved Son, in whom I'm well pleased." And if you take that further from the Orthodox churches, Anglican, Catholic, and all that, when you want to get married, they'll say, "Where is your godfather?" the concept of godfather, biblically, is for you to have somebody you look up to in terms of mentoring, in terms of morals, in terms of the right attitudinal framework, and so that when you are defaulting in your character, in your behavior, somebody can call you to order.
So as such, do you approve of Aswe Igodalo's godfatherism and godson arrangement with Governor Obaseki?
No,
because we hear that's the plan actually.
No, you see, they are not comfortable, they are not even confident of themselves. They are operating at the level of denial. Obaseki stated categorically on one channel's television that he hates to be called a godfather. He will never be a godfather. But now we are seeing it. And because of Obaseki's poor performance, even Afegbua, who claims to be his advisor, is already denying that he's not being sponsored by Obaseki. So, you see, when you cannot own up, you have not even gotten there as a candidate, you already denying the man who actually brought you. You say somebody is your advisor. And I'm saying that an advisor that will tell you to demolish a library and to build a shop right, that kind of advisor needs to be interrogated. An advisor that will see that there are bad roads, you say this is federal government road. Are there federal government people who are coming to apply the roads? Obaseki traveled on that road just a day after Christmas from there to Fuga. You will dance all through that journey of 4-5 hours. You will have to be dancing.
Yeah, I mean, we've always seen those pictures where commuters stay on the road and they tell the governor, see, I mean, this is the road.
If I'm a governor that is getting that kind of money, I will fix that road and I will come and plead that they should refund the money. It happened before. Adam Soshomole did roads for which the Buhari administration paid 18.2 billion to Edo State government as a refund. Where did they apply that money? At times you even see the governor trapped in the flooded areas, and people will be snapping pictures and they'll be making mockery of him. That is the level that governance has degenerated in Edo State. Okay,
there was an attempt by Adam Soshomole to actually be the godfather of Governor Obaseki, and when everything has settled and he got into power, he actually stood against former Governor Oshomole. So in this instance, we are seeing people like you shopping for godfathers. If you get one, are you going to face the same situation?
You see, Sumner, going around, I felt so humbled by the way people accept me and the way people talk about my character, my integrity, and my sense of commitment to anything I believe in. And that's enough. So when people can speak to your character, it goes a long way. And for me, it's not just about Adam Soshomole or anybody. You just have to show good character.
You work for him. Yes, is he going to back you? Or he's going to back you, say, this time around again?
I'm not looking at other aspirants. I'm looking at myself. I'm praying that he supports me, and I'm praying that the other people support me. But what I'm saying in essence is that when you show bad behavior, it will manifest itself. You can't hide it. People must show gratitude to those who help them when they are climbing the ladder of leadership. You don't have a business, for example, as a governor, fighting traditional rulers in Edo State, withholding their allocation. What is your business with that?
Yeah, I mean, you just raised very critical point, because there was that allegation that Governor Obaseki was up in arms with the Oba of Benin and all of that, and of course the return of the artifacts and all of that.
Yeah, the palace is in court with the government.
Yeah, but just before I let you go, very quickly, in about 30 seconds to 1 minute, Kassim Afegbua, we hear the APCs asking aspirants to cough out 40 million for the forms and then 10 million for expression of interest, making it 50 million. Isn't that just too much for just someone who wants to aspire to be governor?
Well, I don't operate at the party headquarters. The party has a lot of role to play in the life of aspirants and candidates. Don't forget that even when you get the ticket, the party will spend money, whether you like it or not. And you can't be saying you want to contest for election, for example, without having some resources you want to leverage on, except you have other ulterior motives. So the party has a right to.
So should it be reduced, or you think it's okay?
No, it's okay. It's okay at 50 million. It's not. I'm not going to decide for them.
Okay.
They have considered every variable before they come to that particular nomination fee. And so for me, I'm already prepared for.
Aren't you pushing others out, those who don't have the money, those who don't have the means, but have governance alternatives to offer to the people?
Well, many are called, few are choosing. Many are called, in this case, Kassim Afegbua is choosing. So I hope that whatever resources they have, they should gather together to support me when they give me ticket, so that we can connect.
And you think people like Pastor Ezeyamo should step back for you and support you? People like Professor Sarema Osumbo should step back and support you?
You see, you've repeatedly mentioned Osumbo and Ezeyamo. I think Ezeyamo contested in 2020. Great guy. I took up my neck, I supported him and all that. This time I have told him pointedly that he should support me.
All right.
He should show love and reciprocity. That is the way to go about
very
it.
strong views here that you've got. Kassim Afegbua is a former commissioner for information in Edo State and a governorship aspirant of the All Progressives Congress, which is the former governing party in Edo State and now the leading opposition in that state. Well, we can only wish you well and hope that you get the best. Well, that's how it's been on this edition of This Week. I'm Sam Sambo. Stay with us and see you next time.